Hello and welcome to this Motivation Hypnosis for change, confidence, and positive thinking. A deep sleep meditation we have created to guide you to powerful subconscious change. And sooner or later, emerge again with the confidence to begin a new life and write a new chapter with positive energy. Perhaps you have joined us now, seeking a guiding light, just so you will illuminate the skills you have within you to surrender any stress and worry over to the light and liberate your inner character of hope and positivity. I'm Matt from Self-Health Hypnosis, and we appreciate that you have taken this time to join us. And more importantly, that you have chosen to devote this time to yourself to find calm. And commit yourself to necessary and useful change now. And I don't know if this is true for you, but perhaps you have come to this guided meditation motivated to be the change you deserve, because you know in your heart, in your mind and soul that you can do better. And maybe you are certain, positive in your own capacity to be better still. There is nothing else you need to do during the meditation but use the great power of your imagination and relax into an experience of comfort. I invite you now to take a minute or two and prepare a time for yourself to plant the seed of change and new beginnings. And as you ready yourself, you can follow my voice as I describe how inner change and helpful habits can create a new you. Maybe you need to close a few doors or your blinds and ready a space, be it a chair or the comfort of your bed where you can relax. And you may be comforted to know that it is up to you whether you use this guided hypnosis to empower you to create a new life, or to water the seeds of change as you drift off to sleep. Now, change is something that exists throughout the universe and is a characteristic of nature and life itself. We observe the changes that occur around us each day from sunrise to sunset, and the impact on us and the eternal world through the cycle of the seasons. You may even notice changes in yourself as you age, or those that emerge as a result of events or your own choices. You may or may not know that every 7 years, almost all of the molecules that make up your body are cycled through and created anew. So in a way, every 7 years, you are actually a completely new person. And I wonder if you find it interesting to consider that there are certain patterns and parts of what we know to be ourselves that remain. And you might feel comfortable in the knowledge that throughout the passage of time and the change we observe in space, an important part of you, the essence of who you are, is still recognizable to yourself and others. Inner change usually begins below our conscious awareness, from what might be described as a seed of change, a potentiality for change. A seed that can be planted in our early or late childhood, or perhaps even today. And it is now well documented that adults can change and develop our minds throughout our entire lives. And now you have taken this time to find peace. You might like to get yourself comfortable. And I really don't know just what your eyes want to do at this moment. You might want to focus your eyes in the room above you, perhaps where the walls meet the ceiling, comfortably, not staring or anything, but just allowing it to occupy the center of your vision. And wondering what is going to happen next. You might feel more comfortable just closing your eyes in a peaceful sort of way. And either way you do it, I would just like for you to let yourself zero in on the idea of just being comfortable. And there have been many times, many places, many situations where you have felt so comfortable that nothing else mattered except that comfort. And you might think of them now and let your subconscious mind present to you one such situation where you really experienced the sense of physical and mental comfort. And you can recall and re-experience all the sensations, the sights, the sounds, the feelings which go with it being extremely comfortable. And you can recall where you first experienced feeling profound relaxation, covering your whole body, the feeling of every muscle in that part of your body just loosening up and just letting go, very deeply relaxed. And very likely that part of your body that needed the relaxation most will re-experience it first. And the feeling of every nerve in that part of your body becoming very quiet, peaceful, not doing any more than is absolutely necessary. And you can wonder what direction that relaxation is going to move through your body, whether you will experience it all at once, like a flow of comfort, peacefully moving through you. And soon you get the feeling that you don't even have to be aware of it anymore. You can just simply allow yourself to become a part of that relaxation as it becomes part of you. And it will be very interesting for you to discover for yourself that you don't even need to listen to me. Because what your conscious mind does now is not at all important. Maybe your conscious mind just wants to curl up and go to sleep for a while, or go as far away as it likes, and perhaps daydream the way you did as a kid in school when you sat in the classroom and stared out the window and allowed your mind to drift as far away from that classroom as it could get, to some place you'd rather be. And you lost track of what was being said. And it didn't matter, because your subconscious mind was picking up everything which was being said, as it is doing now. And your subconscious mind is here with me, and it can hear me and respond in its own time and in its own comfortable way. And you can enjoy whatever it is you are experiencing. And right now, you can enjoy whatever sensations, heaviness or lightness, warmth or coolness, and let them become part of your relaxation and comfort. You can go as deeply as you need to at this time for whatever it is your subconscious mind wants to do to help you. Enjoy this experience. And you might enjoy that experience of going so deeply into trance that it seems to you that you are just all mind without a body, a mind floating in space and time, completely free, able to move whenever and wherever it wants to go. That's right. And I wonder what your subconscious mind wants to explore right now, what doors it wants to open. Perhaps taking a look through the file cabinets in the corner of that marvelous data processing system that is your mind, searching through the files and examining things that stay the way they are, things that need to be updated, what needs to be erased, what items can be eliminated completely. And it is very comforting for you to discover for yourself that you can really let go of what you don't need. And your subconscious mind can do this in its own time and in its own way. And you can continue to rest even more comfortably. Just knowing you can rely on your subconscious mind to do the things that need to be done. You can begin to explore your capabilities that you never had suspected you had, which have been there all the time, which have been there all along. And find out for yourself a very deep sense of just who you are and what you are and what you are capable of doing all those things. Perhaps you just weren't aware of them before, but your subconscious mind can make them available to you at the time that you need them. That's right. And you can continue drifting along very comfortably wherever you are in time and space, just enjoying the restfulness of not having to do anything in particular right now. And I wonder if you would be surprised to know that through our powerful minds, we are all time travelers. And we can't learn something without our brain going into the past to make room for it and to categorize it. And for some people, it's very difficult to stay in the present. It's so hard to be in the here, now. Or maybe you're always worried about the future. And isn't it interesting to know that anxiety is simply putting fear of failure into the future? And some of us live in the past, reliving every mistake, running old internal dialogue loops, running old unhelpful patterns. So yes, we time travel, and we do it all the time. And we do it so well, and we do it so naturally. And if you can learn how you construct time in a more positive way, change can happen more easily. And I don't know if you knew, but the most obvious way we construct time is through our use of language. Whether we are talking about the past, talking about the present, or talking about the future. A verb is something which is taking place at a certain time. An action word. And therefore we say, I do, I did, I have done, I used to do, I was doing, I will do, I will be doing. And when you think about the change you want to make in your life, have you thought about the language your internal voice is using. I wonder if it is something like, I want to change. I want to lose weight. I want to stop smoking. I want to go to the gym more often. And as you listen, you might begin to notice the real difference when you say to yourself, I am going to the gym today. I'm going walking today to lose weight. I am quitting smoking now. And wouldn't it be a magical new day of your life when you awaken to an understanding that you can choose how to speak to yourself now and use active language, and that by simply adding ing to the action words that represent the behaviours of your best self, you are using the power of your creative imagination and seeing yourself taking action, moving forward. And you will find that you can think about the past differently. And I wonder how much confidence you will have when you understand that each problem faced in the past is now a lesson learned, a powerful resource you can take into the future, a resource you already have and can have to use whenever you need, even here and now. And I wonder how much different your life will be, because you will be directing your unconscious mind to put problems in the past and to put resources in the present and the future. Maybe you would like to think of problems in terms of that problem I had, and resources as that resource you always have available. So now I would like you to imagine in your mind's eye the timeline of your life. And for some people, their timeline is horizontal and others vertical. And it may pass through where you stand or lay now, or you may see it directly in front of you. However it appears for you, focus upon it now, and in your mind, see it. Now, focused on your timeline, you might like to rise above so you are looking down on it, putting distance between you and the timeline in order that you can see further into the past and future. Now I would like you to notice where the past is. See where it is. And as you look down on your timeline, in your mind's eye, point to where your past is now. Now think about a memory, something from the past, whether it was earlier today, yesterday, or even earlier still. Imagine where it is and point to it in your mind now. And now just begin to think about your future tomorrow, next week, next month, maybe next year. That's right. Now see that point on your timeline, and in your mind, point to it. That's right. There's the future. And maybe you would now like to think of your present as well. Where is the present? For some people, it's right in front of them. For some people, it appears somewhat down. For some people, it's up. And maybe you would like to determine where the present is for you. And to help you, you can imagine something that you do every day. Maybe it's brushing your teeth, combing your hair, or showering. Just some simple routine that you do every day. And think about doing it today. And just notice where the representation is, if doing it today. Now think about doing that yesterday. So when you did it yesterday, where's that? Okay. Now think about doing it 2 days ago. Where is that on your timeline? And now think about doing it last week. Where does that appear on your timeline? And how about last month? Where is that? And finally, think about doing it last year. Where is that on your timeline? Now think about doing it tomorrow. Where does that appear? 2 days from now. Where is that? Think about doing it a week from now. Where is that? A month from now? Perhaps a year from now. Where do you see that on your timeline? Now, you might like to connect the dots, drawing a line like a dot to dot, and notice what it looks like to you. Is it straight? Does it zigzag? Whatever your line looks like, that's okay. Yes, that's right. That's perfectly fine. It's your line. And some people are organized in different ways based on what's happening in their lives. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with having your timeline reflect what you want to experience. Now, as you imagine yourself floating up above your extended timeline, just slowly slide your focus back along your timeline through your past, almost like you are flicking backwards through the pages of a book. And as you move backwards, just notice each event and find something in the past where you set yourself a goal and you achieved it. Not anything simple, but a goal you felt at the time was going to be a challenge to complete. Or perhaps you would like to think of a time in the past when you had just achieved something that was very important to you. Something that gave you a strong sense of pride an accomplishment and meant a great deal to you at the time. It may have been graduation from high school, university, or the day you got your driver's license, or anything else you can think of, as long as it was something you felt really good about when it happened. That's right. Take your time, and as soon as you have thought of that situation which fits the description, I wonder where you will place that event on your timeline. And when you have found it, float down to that point in the past where you succeeded in achieving that goal. Seeing yourself at that moment in the past. Floating down and stepping into yourself at that time. To see what you see and imagine how it felt. The happiness it brought you. The feelings of confidence and pride and sense of accomplishment. How much pleasure and satisfaction did you feel in that moment? That's right. Just let yourself get in touch with the feelings of achievement and satisfaction which you were feeling when you were actually in that situation. Let yourself go back and experience those feelings once more, and feeling them growing even stronger as I speak. Growing and growing, and becoming clearer and stronger and more intense with every passing word. And all the time I'm speaking to you, these feelings are going to continue growing stronger by themselves. And I wonder how much satisfying it is to know that you can take the resources you learned in that moment past and the amazing feeling you had in experiencing that goal, that great sense of accomplishment, into the future. So now, float back out of yourself and into the present as you look over your timeline from above. And now, in the present, maybe you would like to consider your goals, your resolutions for the new year, the negative habits you want to leave in the forgotten pages of the past, or perhaps the new, positively helpful habits you will adopt moving forward that will water the seed of change and open up your life to new beginnings and possibility. Now take the great resources you have that helped you achieve your goals, along with your current goals you have in the present, and imagine where in the near future, on your timeline, you will achieve those goals. Seeing that success stamped in your timeline, float down from above to that time in the future and see yourself having completed your resolutions and achieved your goals. And as you imagined in your past, step into yourself in the future into your skin to experience just how good it feels to have already made that change, to have created that outcome. Again now, just letting yourself get in touch with the feelings of achievement and satisfaction which you were feeling reaching goals in the past, and remembering that pleasure. Now, imagine how it might feel having succeeded in making the change you want in the year ahead. And when you're ready, imagine yourself slowly floating out of yourself in the future, back to the present, looking down over your timeline and seeing that point of change in your future, highlighted so bright and vividly, flashing at you from your future. And I wonder if you can see yourself in the future, having already made this change, feeling strong and resourceful. And notice how wonderful it feels when you imagine that in the here and now. And you might like to take a moment and fully appreciate how well you have learned to change. That's right. Floating above that timeline of yours, you might like to move forward to a time when you have integrated all these learnings in a perfect blend. So you can feel confident using all these ideas in all areas of your life where you want to succeed. And when you can see yourself knowing with these down there in your future now, you can sink into yourself, into that confident and resourceful you, and feel how good it feels now to understand more deeply how much you know now. Knowing there is no failure, only feedback, and everyone has within them all they need to succeed, and that all of us can only make the best choices we can with the information we have, and that even difficult experiences can open up resources so that change is easy. Because all we are is change. In the days, weeks, and months that follow, you may have a strange feeling, a sensation, or an experience. And if that should happen, you can take pleasure in knowing that your unconscious mind is working for you, that there is a necessary and useful change developing. And after all that change is completed and has become part of your mental processes, that change will emerge into consciousness in the form of a new feeling or a changed behavior. And you will understand, yes, that's what's been going on all along.